What do I think happened to Summer? I believe it's a body hunt right now.
Before Summer died.
But dude, we all take our fucking pills. Hey, listen, we can kill people with smiles on our face.
Damn, killer. It's so good.
She was 5 years old when the world first heard her name, Summer Moon Utah Wells, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl from the rugged hollers of Hawkins County, Tennessee, whose sudden disappearance in June 2021 shattered the quiet of the Chimney Top Mountain and sparked a nationwide search. At the heart of the mystery is Hunter, who was a teenage boy and friend of the family whose brief visit with Summer earlier on the day she vanished would become one of the most scrutinized moments in the entire case. This moment has formed the tangled web of a story steeped in contradiction, secrecy, and suspicion, a story that begins with a missing child and descends into something much darker. On the morning of June 15th, 2021, Candace Bly picked up 15-year-old Hunter to run a few errands around town. Hunter was the son of Candace's friend, Allison. Along for the ride were Candace's mother, Grandis, and her 5-year-old daughter, Summer Wells. At some point, their casual day of stops and store visits took a turn toward Warriors Path State Park, where they ended up at a local swimming spot known as the Horse Pond. It's rumoured Candace and Hunter were up in the parking lot charging a phone in the vehicle. Where Grandis is in this story has always felt off. But it was there at the swimming hole, Hunter later said, that he noticed Summer in the water, submerged for a moment, though he couldn't say how long she had been under. He then went and pulled her up from under the water.
She's underwater or goes underwater. Did you see her go underwater?
No, I didn't see her go underwater because she was showing me a TikTok that she done with the dogs and the dirt bikes.
Got it. Candace was.
Yeah.
So your focus was on the TikTok
For a second there, but then when I turned my eye that way, I just seen that. I don't know how long she could have been under there for, but I just seen her under the water and I didn't see her come back up, so
okay,
kind of shook me, so I was gonna go see if she was okay.
So you went in?
Yeah.
Okay. You went in to rescue her?
It could have been longer, it could have been shorter. She could have just went under there at that point. Like,
right.
I don't know. You see, there's a little like tree there or a log.
Yeah, yeah.
She went like as far as that, and not no farther.
Okay.
I just seen that she was underwater for like 15 seconds, so I was like, "Are you okay?" And I pulled up. She said, "Yeah, I'm just swimming underwater."
Okay, so you see a point where Summer is underwater
for like 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay, walk me through that.
And so I'll go in calm as heck because I know she might just be messing around.
Did you think she was injured?
No,
could she have been?
She could have been. I mean,
help me understand that.
I mean, she could have been when she got back into the car, like how the water gets through your lungs and everything else.
Okay.
And how she was in the hot car while they went to the stores and everything.
Okay, so let's go from the moment you see her, and what did you do?
I just threw my shirt down and just threw myself into that water to see if she's okay.
Okay, so you got scared?
A little bit, yeah. Spooked. Like, I get a little bit like shook for a second.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. She got nervous?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And did you call her?
Yeah, I was like, Summer, but I don't know if you can hear underwater like that.
So can you see her underwater?
No, yeah, you can see her. I could see her. It's just that I was wanting to make sure that she was okay.
Got it, straight up. And what happened?
I just pull her up, bring her over my shoulders. I say, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah."
There was anything wrong with her being under that water?
Not really, but you gotta think as a little kid swimming, it can tire you out easily.
True.
So I don't know if she could have been sleeping when they dropped me off because I thought she was awake.
The group later drove Hunter back to his home, a ride marked by a now infamous photo. Summer slumped in the back seat beside 2 gallons of milk, her face pale and her body limp, a still frame that would be analysed endlessly by the public. What happened in those hours remains debated, especially with theories of secondary drowning and questions about what was witnessed that day. Hunter's own mother would later reveal that Hunter was never the same after he got home that day.
Later on that night, Hunter shut down, and I didn't even know anything, and he had texted his girlfriend something. Her mom called me. I spazzed. Hunter was not himself. I called him a friend of mine because Grandma was home.
Yeah, sure, you come get me.
Yep.
I had to put my dirty clothes back
Oh my
on.
God, even you're almost in tears. And I said, what's wrong? He wouldn't talk to me, he wouldn't come out of it or nothing. He was just sitting there, rocking back and forth. My homegirl had to come. And we had all we could do to get him out of that house, out of his room, and sit him at this table. I had to call TVI back up. He was trying to,
She did drown there. Maybe she did.
he will not talk about it.
But he will not talk about it. He wasn't the same when he came back.
After dropping Hunter off, Candace, along with her mother Grandis and little Summer, made the winding drive back to their secluded home on Ben Hill Road.
Located at the foothills of Chimney Top Mountain, Ben Hill is notorious for crime. From shootouts to drugs, from thieves to prostitution. You name it, Ben Hill known to got it. The locals in the area describe Ben Hill as a trading post for all illegal activity. But society's outlaws went for a good time. People who lived on Ben Hill seem to operate or take part in this function, each seemingly to have their own illegal business operating separately. Although it's most likely that each operation was like a cog in a much bigger wheel that is ran by what the people of Ben Hill call what they call the uppers.
According to Candace, once they arrived, Summer wanted to help Grandis planting flowers outside Grandis' camper. Candace claimed that Summer asked to go play with her brothers inside Candace's house, and so Candace walked her partway to the front door, watched her go inside, and then, by her own account, went back to tend to Grandis's knee brace at the camper beside the home. What happened next remains the heart of a mystery that has haunted the country ever since. Candace told authorities that it was only a few minutes later when she realized Summer had gone silent. She called for her, searched the basement, then the yard, but the child was gone. The 911 call, which is still yet to be released, would spark one of the largest search efforts in Tennessee history, flooding the rugged terrain with K9 units, helicopters, drones, divers, and hundreds of volunteers. Yet, not a single confirmed trace of Summer Wells has ever been found. Her disappearance, occurring in broad daylight, just steps from her family, ignited a firestorm of suspicion, inconsistencies, and media frenzy. And at the center of it all remains Hunter, whose timeline, behavior, and changing stories have only deepened the shadows over Ben Hill Road. His father, Andrew Hiltz, has remained online, sometimes pleading with Hunter to speak out about what happened that day, and other times pleading with the community to leave him be. Many in the online community have claimed Andrew is trying to capitalize on his son's situation while throwing his son under the bus. Although Andrew has always claimed he is only trying to defend his son. One thing remains obvious: Hunter was never the same after that day. Since then, Hunter's mom Allison and her friend Leslie, the ones who remained by Hunter's side through all this, both passed away mysteriously the same unexpected way. And it was believed at one point by many that Andrew was implying Hunter had something to do with their deaths. As horrible as that would be, there are many deaths surrounding the Summer Wells case. It is unlikely a once teenage boy would be behind all those mysterious passings. Summer Wells wasn't the only missing child either.
Rosemary Blythe, Candace's sister,
Went missing.
went missing, and I know where that girl's buried because they told me a story one night that where they used to live, it was a cement driveway. Her kids were 3 and 4 and said, "Mommy's there, Mommy's there." Why didn't they ever?
Where would that be? Like, where was that at?
Wisconsin or whatever.
I've had a missing kid before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My 17-year-old, well, she will be 17 in a few days. She was 12.
She was 12.
She got in with the wrong group of kids.
And then that guy that tried to kidnap Hunter.
Yep.
Who tried to kidnap Hunter?
German Duggan.
Why did he try to kidnap Hunter?
Hunter's father had reached out to him, I guess. He didn't care until there was a reward out for Summer. And then him and Jeremy came up with an idea to come up and get Hunter. And I was at the football field when I read it on Facebook. Plain as day, Jeremy Duggan left the thing saying that his name and everything. He had a transfer order to transfer my child from Tennessee to New York. I panicked. I went to the police department. They told me if anyone shows up, call them, they'd be right over. And 5 seconds later, the white truck from Georgia showed up. They beat the horn. They wanted my son to climb out his bedroom window, leave some of his stuff on the side of the house, and get in a car and leave. They're going to bring him to his father's. No. He ain't take my kid nowhere. Me, Leslie, and her husband met Jeremy Duggan right on my porch, toe to toe. And that was not nice.
But let's go back to before June 15th, 2021, back on this theory's timeline. Hunter's mother, Allison, moved to Tennessee from New York several years ago. Allison had just met Candace the year before Summer went missing.
Ellie met CW 6-2020. Correct. Where's my thing? Correct. On 9/18/2020. Jose Don fight 10/2020. Chronological order. And if y'all want to write it down, it's there in chat, so you don't have to rewind and watch. So that's where it is. So within that 4-month period, within 4 months, a lot seemed to have happened. In a 4-month period. But yeah, so within a short period of time, which is 4 months, they met each other, they hang out, shit happens between them.
Central Dispatch.
Yes, my name is Allison Harris. I just got off the phone with Kingsport City Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue at hand. I've been staying at a friend of mine's house for a little over a week now, and I have my one daughter home with me back in the city of Kingsport. Right now we're sitting at Dollar General off of Lone Star Road, and my oldest two children are up at my friend's house. And the reason why they're still up there is because when I went to leave this morning for work, because there was a confrontation last night between us all, and then this morning when she woke up, she was very confrontational about the whole situation. So I had to wait until her mom got awake to bring me to work. And she basically threatened anyone who came up to the house, she was going to blow their heads off. She's bipolar. She's very, very...
Okay, so what are you needing from us?
I need someone to go up to her house to get my two children.
The most controversial of all of Hunter's dad's stories is the story of his attempt to move to Tennessee with a group of people in 2020. This story has only added speculation to the entire situation. And shockingly, just when you thought you couldn't get any more jaw-dropping information from the Summer Wells case, even more information came out about this trip from New York to Tennessee, adding fuel to the fire of theories.
Look, I'd have never come and said not one word to Munch if Andrew wouldn't have placed him as a driver going to Tennessee. I'd have never come and talked to Munch. I'd have never known about Jeffy. I'd have never known about the Tennessee trip. I'd have never known about none of this. So you and Munch fell in love underneath the stress of living underneath Andrew's roof.
Yes, I was for a few months. And then I said to Munch, I said, why don't we get out of here and get our own place?
Right.
And he agreed. I know a lot more than people think I do. Trust me. I know a lot of things about that whole situation with Candace and Randy and all that. Randy was having an affair with Candace.
Now who's Randy?
The older Randy.
Clark. Randy Clark.
The older Randy Clark was having an affair with Candace.
Okay.
We're listening.
I know that for a fact. I just can't.
Tell us for a fact. Tell us it all. Tell everything. Shit.
Now how do you know that for a fact, unless you know Candace?
No, I don't know any of that, but I know someone that is very close to the Randy situation. I'll put it on my kids and grandkids instead, because I can't say certain names. But I will put it on my kids and grandkids. And I don't do that for anybody. He was having an affair, and supposedly he was going to buy a house or something like that, and he got scammed from it. He never got his money back.
Hold up. Supposedly Jeffy and Andrew got scammed from that house.
So it's got to be the same house, and guess what? It was Candace's house that Randy was going to buy.
So how did Randy know about the house?
Randy knows Allison and that family. Like Allie's kids and Allison and stuff like that. And that's why I believe you, Andrew Hills, knows who little Randy Jr. is. He's a lot like Andrew. You're telling me he's lived in Gloversville for how many years and he don't know little Randy Jr.? Randy Jr. is nothing but a pervert. Little Randy Jr. is Bear's father.
Okay, we knew that.
Big Randy is little Randy's, is Bear's grandfather.
Right. Yeah, I knew that. We've been knowing that. But I don't know how he had an affair with Candace unless...
Randy, I believe Randy went down there to go see Bear at one point. And that's how... Huh?
What would make him hook up with Candace and not Allison?
If you ever met Big Randy, he ain't all there.
No, I ain't never met him.
I know Big Randy personally.
Yep, DW was in Utah when Randy Clark was visiting CW. That makes a lot of sense now.
Don was on Facebook and he said, well, YouTube, and he said that my 12-year-old daughter even said her name and what we called her.
I heard it. Has a badass body.
Has a body from fucking hell.
Yes, we have that.
And
she's 12. I do know.
So when you heard that, what happened? Like, what was your thoughts when you heard that? You were like,
fucking sick motherfucker, something's up.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had charges, that's it. Like, no grown-ass man needs to be talking about a 12-year-old like that.
And I know that he also even gave Bear alcohol, because he gave my grandkids alcohol and did something to them.
who?
Donnie.
Donnie did something to your grandkids? What did Donnie do to your grandkids?
So I know he really loved Allison. I know Big Randy really adored Allison. It was like a daughter to him.
Alright, so what else do we know about this Tennessee shit? Tell me everything.
I don't really know much of it, only by what he kind of gave out when I first met him, about how him and Jeff went to Tennessee, and the people are Jeff's girlfriend Kayla, her four kids, Peaches, which is Karen, and Gordon, and I guess Jose. I didn't know about Jose until all these lives.
So who was the two drivers?
The only thing I could think of, I know Jeff don't have a license, I know Andrew don't have a license, I know Elisa don't have a license. And supposedly Jose was stuck in the back of the truck the whole time, so that only leaves two drivers. Karen and Gordon.
So why did he bring
and Gordon is the one that married Elisa and Andrew.
Wow. How the motherfucking dots connect. Andrew.
Told you, I just needed time. Okay, I'm gonna fuck more. In my opinion, I mean, I don't think Andrew physically did something to Summer, at least if you were to do the timeline, is he capable of it? For all the right reasons, yes, he is capable of it. I think maybe Hunter either did something or witnessed something, and someone has scared him so bad.
Did Andrew have a storage unit for a few hours in Tennessee?
I heard that he did, but that still don't make any sense with a storage. Because why would you put stuff in storage if you knew you were getting a house, and even if it... And then the house fell through, it didn't work out, then you had to go pack the stuff back up in the truck. That don't make any sense. You would think that they would find out details of the house first.
Yep.
And I heard it was something to do with Candace's storage unit. And then I heard that Elisa was going off on Andrew at Dollar General.
Yep, because
Why?
they didn't want to go stay at Candace's house because supposedly the house was so nasty. She already knew the house was filthy. If you didn't know, you would have met Candace at her house to see her house. They're not going to bring you pictures from their house to the Dollar General and show you a picture. Hey, you want to stay at my house?
Oh, I already knew just by other videos that she had. They were down there.
Andrew is the front man. Munch is the enforcer. Jeff is the money man. Ericon is the tech guy of the group. However, the group is bigger than that. Yes, ma'am. They go see.
We move down there. Jose stays. We come home. Jose gets in a fight with Don. Jose leaves. Poof, there it is. That is the timeline. That's a 4-month timeline. So, 2020, there it is. Now we're into 2021. Summer goes MIA. What happens? Oh, my nose. Stress gives me runny noses and headaches, guys. Alright. So, how many? Alright, so listen. Okay.
This information is reviving long-lived but never lost creators and theories in the now. These theories from the past mixed with the now will corroborate one another, which is compelling. And we could stop here, but the connections just keep going, making yet another connection loop in the Summer Wells case. And no matter if Hunter saw something that day at the swimming hole or not, he was dropped off. It's unlikely that Hunter knows where Summer is. But notably, one thing remains the most consistent of Hunter's account, his theory of what he thinks happened to Summer after he was dropped off. This same theory is shared by other Ben Hill residents.
Husband calls her talking about this dude named Andy or Andrew on the property that's been there for like a week or so, she told me, that keeps stalking other kids. There was some dude, Andrew, Anthony, Andy, whatever it was. Just the name A.
Okay.
That's all I remember. Is that he's been up on the property for a week or two trying to, like, I guess she said touch the little kid. My gut feeling was that either they had something to do with it.
Who's they?
Her and Andy.
Okay.
Or it was all of them together, like every single one of them in a family.
Do you think Hunter saw something that day at the horse pond? Or was he simply a teenager caught in the current of something much larger than himself? Were the Wells using him for an alibi? From his account of pulling Summer from the water, to the now infamous photo in the back seat, to the chilling death of his mother and her friend, his story is woven through nearly every shadow of the Summer Wells case. It's a tragedy, and Hunter seems like a victim in all this. Add in his father's 2020 attempt to relocate to Tennessee with a group of people, a trip surrounded by contradictions and mystery, and the web thickens. Summer Wells wasn't the only child to vanish. She wasn't the only one caught in the quiet violence of this region. Theories born years ago now align with fresh information, forming loops of connection that refuse to quit. You can dismiss speculation, but not the patterns, not the signs, not the timeline, and certainly not the silence and refusal to speak up for Summer Wells.
Clock in. Okay.
Scooby fucking Doo. If not for those pesky meddling kids.
Back to what I do. Catfish, Billy, baby, hello, how are you? Yo, I 9 numbers like a power line, fell into a swimming pool. I think I got the whole crew. Ooh, let me know what y'all wanna do. I bought a 30 pack of creek water, baby boo. Not a 99, not a 99.99, like mine. I got 100 proof.
They're gonna be sorry they were ever born. Who? All of them.
Out here getting this beef, if you work for the devil, better retreat. Coming too icy, come too clean, could never move shady, ain't no feet.
Shotgun, London, what's the outcome? You know, I'm a madman, just can't stick to the program. Raise up the heat, keeping the tension, shifting the gear to a different dimension. Red light, speed up, take off, slide up. Hop on the front door, it's like midnight, 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 midnight. Don't lose your grip, cause you might fall out again. Off-white whip, need for speed. I'm not switching the lane. Pick up the pace. What? Throw like that, and we're back to the base. Back to the base. Back to the base. Back to the base. Back to the base.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.